Hey guys, welcome back to Lab Cyber and a happy new year to you. Yes, this is the very first official video for the year 2021 and hopefully this year is going to be much better than the previous one that we had, which was a really tough year for a lot of people. Unfortunately, today's video is not going to be a happy one. It's actually going to be one of the more serious videos because there is something very serious happening in the tech industry, and it is my responsibility to let you know what's actually happening. It involves basically the censorship and the purge of the Parler social media platform. Now, if you don't know what's been happening, let me bring you up to speed very quickly. Last week, we had some protests in Washington, D.C. These were supposedly by Donald Trump supporters. They stormed the Capitol building, there were riots, and people died as a result. Now, it is believed that the people who were involved in this protest used the Parler social media platform to organize themselves and to promote the violence. As a result, Parler was blamed for what happened, and Google, first of all, decided to remove the Parler app from the Play Store. Apple then followed suit, removing Parler from their Play Store as well. It's not Parler. Parler does exist, but it's different from Parler, so don't make that mistake, okay? So Google removed the Parler app from their store. Apple did the exact same thing. And now if you go to parler.com, you can no longer find the website. And why? That's because Amazon, who used to host Parler, decided to terminate their hosting services. And now you can no longer visit the Parler website. You can no longer download the Parler app. And just like that, in a space of 3-4 days, a social media platform that was becoming very popular, that had over 12 million users, in a space of 3-4 days, it has vanished from the internet. And unfortunately, the CEO of Parler, John Matt, has now claimed that they might never return because other hosting companies do not want to do business with Parler. They are afraid that, oh, if we do business with Parler, we will become the subjects of harassment, and basically doing business with Parler right now is just bad business. So nobody wants to associate themselves with Parler. So as a result, Parler right now might need to build their infrastructure from the ground up. They will have to build their own web servers, their own stores, things like that, and it might take a very long time, and it's going to be very expensive. Now, my thoughts on this. This is very frightening because what you have right now is a very coordinated effort by the big tech companies to censor and destroy competition. Now, Amazon are claiming that, oh, we've decided to terminate Parler because, Parler hosted violent content that violates their terms of service. That's the reason Amazon gave for shutting down Parler. And of course, Google and Apple have also said the exact same thing, saying that, Parler hosted violent content. As a result, they don't want to do business with Parler anymore. Okay. I have no problems with that. If you're going to punish Parler because they hosted violent content, fine. But here is where I have an issue. If you go to Twitter, which Parler was competing with, if you go to Twitter, and you search for the hashtag KILL Trump, guess what? You're going to find hundreds, if not thousands of accounts using these hashtags. This is violent content. Not only this hashtag, search for the hashtag Death to America. And you're going to find hundreds of accounts calling for this as well. Accounts promoting, encouraging violence against America. You search for Antifa. If you don't know Antifa, they're this gang of bandits who wear ski masks, and they wear all black, and they were involved in looting and rioting all through the US last year. That's Antifa. Antifa uses Twitter to organize themselves and to promote violence. Google, Amazon, Apple have no problem with Twitter hosting such violent content. But because Parler hosted similar content, but because Parler is competition to Twitter, Amazon, Google, and Apple now suddenly had a problem with Parler. You see how the game works? Amazon, Facebook, Twitter, Google, Apple, they belong to the exact same gang of companies, if you will. And what they will do is that they will crush any other company that tries to compete with them. The only reason why they took down Parler was because Parler was becoming very, very popular and it was actual serious competition to Twitter. I guarantee you that the people who used Parler to organize this protest in DC, if they had used Twitter to do that, Amazon would not have had a problem with Twitter. Google and Apple would not have had a problem with Twitter either. But because it's Parler, all of a sudden they have a problem. And of course, Amazon and Google and Apple, they can claim all they want about how, they care about the violence and, they don't want to do business with companies that encourage violence and all that. It's all hypocrisy. They don't care about violence. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. All they care about is absolute domination, and they will crush any company that tries to compete with them. That's what's happening. And unfortunately, there are so many people who don't seem to understand what's actually happening. They're practically cheering. They're very, very happy that Parler got censored because they don't like Donald Trump and they believe that, everybody on Parler was a Donald Trump supporter, and as a result, it's a great thing that Parler has ceased to exist. Let me tell you one thing, okay? If you're such a person encouraging this censorship, I'm going to tell you something right now. Eventually, this censorship is going to come for you. It may not come for you directly, but it could come for a friend of yours, a family member of yours. It could be one of your favorite content creators who gets censored. Don't think these companies care about you. They don't care about you. All they care about is absolute domination. They can ban Parler all they want, but why is it that they're not banning Twitter? Oh, and by the way, you see how Amazon dropped Parler claiming that, the service hosted violent posts? And I've just shown you right now that on Twitter, you have so many posts encouraging violence. But guess what? Twitter, breaking news, Twitter to host its real-time services on Amazon's cloud. Isn't that just amazing? Amazon has no problem hosting Twitter. It's fine. The same Twitter where you'll find violent posts like this. But Amazon has a problem with Parler hosting violent content. You see how the whole game works? I'm so sick and tired of this double standards. It's all double standards. It's all hypocrisy, nothing more. Anyway, there's nothing I can do about this. There's nothing you can do about this, but at least we can inform ourselves and keep ourselves in the loop. And I felt it was my responsibility to inform you about what's actually happening and expose these companies for what they really are. It's bad. It's really, really frightening. And I am really, really, really scared because what you have right now is a monopoly. You have a monopoly of 4 or 5 companies controlling the entire tech industry. That is very, very, very dangerous. Because guess what? When there's a monopoly, the companies they'll prosper. It is you and I, the users, who will suffer because if there is no competition to these companies, they will do whatever they want to do. And we have no choice. We have to use the services. Can you imagine you trying to run a business in the world today and you don't have a social media presence? Or you don't have a website? Can you imagine you trying to run such a business? It's impossible. We have no choice but to use their products. And because there is no competition, they can do whatever they want to do. It is what it is. Anyway, if you have opposing thoughts, I'd love to hear what you have to say. You don't have to agree with me. If you support the censorship and the purge of Parler, please let me know why. And if you agree with me, please let me also know. Please put your comments down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you. And that's it. Do share the video with anyone who may feel might benefit from it. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do subscribe. Hit the thumbs up so that you will let YouTube know that you enjoyed this video. And it also really does help with the algorithm. So please do give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. I'm Alex once again. Stay safe out there, and I'll talk to you next time. Cheers.